The show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the show with Brian and Pat. I'm Brian here once again.
Hey guys, I'm Pat.
Hey, we are once in. Today we're going to have a little fun. We've got the video camera here in studio with us, and we're going to let you guys see what goes on while we're talking and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the what do you call this thing? The camera and talk at the same
The
time.
handy cam?
And as you know, as guys, we can only do one thing at a time.
Sometimes, yes.
So this is actually quite difficult for me.
Yeah. Let me let everybody look, see what you look like. We're going to toss it off. Oh, there's my chest. And here is Pat today.
So here I am. Yes, I sit over here, and the rumors you thought that I might be extra fluffy, it's very true. So shut it, Brian.
See?
So anyway, today I think we're going to talk a little bit about dating. And what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of share our hearts and tell you what we think about it and what we think you should think about it. Did that make any sense?
Somewhat.
Okay, good.
It could be kind of a touchy subject, I think.
Yeah, let me have the camera back now.
Why? I'm having fun.
Okay. Yeah.
It can be somewhat of a touchy subject when we talk about dating, I guess.
Well, definitely, because, whenever you're talking about dating, automatically everybody goes into thinking of what can, the garbage that comes with dating.
Pretty much.
Well, someone just got online.
That's right. It was actually you, it sounded like.
Some of the garbage that comes with it is, we can talk about sex. We can talk about the little bit of the peer pressure that might come with you have to date Mr. Popular or Miss Popular. And sometimes it just gives you a false sense of, can you say a false sense of marriage? Sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And I've noticed, too, that also, and we can get more into this later, but I think the way that people date today, where they break up and go back to one person, break up and go back to another person, that to me, that leads them to a divorce. That's why I think dating should be held off until you think you're ready.
Did you think that whenever you were 16, 17?
No, and I know that we could sit here and I could talk like, my grandpa and tell you all the stories that he used to tell me, but you're right, you're going to have to experience it for yourself. So that's what we want to do, is we want to, since we know that you're going to do that, we know that you're going to experience it for yourself, we want to kind of give you some tidbits.
Exactly. I remember being in high school and even junior high. I remember my first girlfriend. Her name was Kristen.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was. And it's funny? Out of all my girlfriends, she's probably the only one that I can still tell you when her birthday is, because it was 3 days after mine. And she lived like right up the road from me. Lived out in the country, and I mean, you can't not forget where she used to live. But,
she had 5 freckles on her nose right here.
She was blonde, which was cool,
yeah.
I guess. Because really, at the time, I didn't know the difference between a blonde and a brunette or anything.
And now we're both very happily married.
Exactly.
And we love our wives.
Yes.
Okay.
And if they're listening, yes, we love you.
We love you.
We love you.
So anyway, that was our plug for our wives. But yeah, I can remember my first girlfriend. I had a couple little girlfriends, but my first girlfriend, have you ever heard that, what do you call it? The little example where you can put someone up in a chair, you stand them up in a chair, and you're standing down below, and then you say, okay, I want you to pull me up on that chair with you. I'm not going to do anything, but I want you to pull me up. Well, you can't do it. You can't pull them up unless you're the $600 million man and pull them up. Well, then the other side of it is, okay, now I'm going to try to pull you down out of the chair. Well, you can grab their arm and pull them right out of the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what dating is like.
And speaking of the $6 million man,
yeah,
or $6 billion, the Bionic dude,
that's him.
Did you know that they're coming back with the original on NBC?
Are you serious?
They were talking about that. Not to get way off of subject here, but yeah, I heard that the other day. I thought it was quite interesting.
Well, I used to watch him growing up.
Heck yeah, but the thing is, they're coming back with the woman.
So, really?
Yeah, it's the $6 million Bionic woman.
So did we just age ourselves pretty quick?
Pretty much.
Okay. Anyway, if you pull them down out of that chair, that's what dating is like, okay? Because if you get a boyfriend or a girlfriend who, has a different belief system than you, then it can lead you down the wrong path. Lead you down into what we're talking about, the sex, getting away from your friends. That's what this one did for me. She got me away from not only church, but my friends. And it goes both ways. It's not just a guy, my girlfriend.
Oh yeah,
I've seen guys pull girls away from church, you know, because we've
Definitely.
worked with them too. So
I was one of them. I did it. You know, I pulled them away from church or what, you know, different things, and it's, you know, let them down paths that shouldn't have been.
that's because you're an evil man.
I was.
No, but then he got he cleaned up his life and, you know, started walking a different path. So
Exactly.
anyway, do we need to take a break or?
No, we got just a minute.
Okay, well go ahead.
Okay. We're going ahead. No, I think one of the things, you know, that we need to cover is, you know, with dating is, you know, the positives and the negatives of
That's
it,
right.
of course. And the warning signs, I guess, is one thing we can talk about. You know, because there's good times of dating and there's bad times of dating. And like we just said. So I think, what was what was a good experience?
A good experience. Well, I met my wife.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. I had moved to from one small town to a larger town, and I had just felt like, okay, I'm just gonna stay away from dating girls for a while. Well, not that I dated guys, but I just wanted to stay away from dating. Period.
Clarify that.
Yeah, I just wanted to stay away from dating, and you know how whenever you make decisions in your mind and your heart, sometimes things will. How do you put it? Well, let me put it this way: I got asked out by 3 different girls. I had never had that happen.
You the man.
Well, I don't know about the man part, but and then eventually I ended up meeting Sandra, and we started dating. We dated 2.5 years, and so that was a positive experience. And but you just got to
And
make.
how long you been married?
11 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm hearing that's a pretty good record because that
That's
doesn't happen a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, especially if you're in Hollywood.
That's right.
I mean,
You know,
geez,
but you know the funny thing about marriage is I forgot to ask Sandra one important question.
if she'd marry you,
No, that wasn't. I did ask
Oh,
her that
okay.
one.
Well,
I asked
maybe
her,
she
I
asked
forgot
you.
to ask her if she ironed, and she doesn't iron. So I
What?
missed iron clothes. I forgot to
Are
ask
you
her
serious?
on my questionnaire that do you do this, do you do that, windows and stuff. I forgot to ask her if she irons.
See, my stipulation was whenever I started meeting or dating my wife Emily, she had never seen trilogies like Star Wars,
Oh my!
Lethal Weapons, Indiana Jones, you name it. She hadn't seen them. Die Hards.
National
And-
Lampoons.
Yeah,
There you go.
definitely. And so me and my brother, we decided.
Fletch lives.
Yeah. Oh, those are great movies.
Those are good movies.
We Fletch Returns. We decided that when we were dating, that we would had to, I guess you could say, acclimate her to the movie world. And we decided to each Friday night we would go rent a trilogy and we would sit there and watch it. And even though we would see it, we would fall asleep and she'd watch it. And I don't know if she watched all of them or she fell asleep or what, but that was my stipulation, I guess you could say. Like yours was irony, mine was watch that. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that for sure. And I think actually she's outside the studio door listening to it right now and probably laughing. So
Or we're in trouble.
one of the two.
Now, how long have you been married?
I've been married for 6 years.
Wow, how long did you guys date?
We dated for right at 2 years.
Well, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I may be having trouble speaking is because I'm working the camera.
Yeah,
again.
you should see this. It's quite funny, actually. But and speaking of videos, real quick, let me plug it in. We now have on our MySpace. We have the new video blogs, which we just got up, which you guys have got to go check out if you haven't seen them already. We'll be doing interviews and stuff like that on there, but we'll also be talking to you and just having some fun with those. I have a feeling we're gonna do the costumes. We'll do the trick or treating thing on there
and
too.
that's
So
www.myspace.com/the show with Brian and Pat. Go in there and check it out. Leave us a comment. Email us. We want your feedback and check out the videos. We'll be
Exactly.
right back.
The show with Brian and Pat.